Hello and welcome to Alliance War Season 48, Episode 3. So we had another loss to start the season, so we are 0-2. Not the greatest start. Yeah, there's a lot of deaths. This new tactic is very tricky. Just a lot of people just still adjusting to it, including myself. I've got way too many deaths so far. But we have 7 fights today, actually, using a pretty similar team. I think with just one change from our team from last war. Our opponent is Swidia, so they are currently, well, not sure where they currently are. But last season I couldn't actually see where they finished. It was a bit strange. I couldn't see where they finished. But our team today is our 7-star rank 2 Stryfe, our 6-star rank 4 Hood, and our 6-star rank 4 Apocalypse. And Stryfe and Hood, of course, have the Ex-Magicka tag, so they'll be getting plenty of prowesses from parrying. In fact, we're actually not going to be using Hood in this war. He's just there for the synergy. So the synergy with Stryfe and Hood will let Stryfe start invisible, which would be great for getting fast-tracked charges. And then our masteries here, it's the same as last couple wars. Yeah, pretty standard. So we actually got really lucky with Swidia. So they actually almost missed a whole battle group defense placement. So we only had about 110 fights this war. It wasn't in our battle group, so we still got a full battle group to fight. But yeah, it was definitely, they were on the back foot early. But this first fight here is this Sandman. So this was a great opportunity to get a nice early ramp on Stryfe, because this guy, it is a rank 3 Sandman. He has about 300,000 health. He's on path 3 here. I'm really not sure why they placed him here. Not really sure why they placed Sandman at all, really. Like, I don't really see any defensive value in him whatsoever, apart from just tankiness in a way to just sort of extend some fight times maybe. He does place 2 Petrifies from the special 1, but those do go away pretty early. We've had a perfect start really to this fight. We've already got 10 persistent charges. Not persistent charges, telepathic charges. They're not persistent yet, so we've got to try and get to special 3. And yeah, we are getting the passive prowesses. He's not a tactic champion though. He's not a tactic defender, so he's not going to be removing those prowesses at all. So we're just going to really just get as many heavies as we can into a special 3. The max charges we can get is 20, so ideally we'll only get 20 before he dies, and then we can, they will convert to persistent charges at the start of the special 3, so it doesn't matter if the special 3 kills him. They'll be converted right at the start. So we get a striker into a heavy there, up to 16 telepathic charges now. We're really just taking this nice and safe, trying to get as many charges as possible while we can, because this is really just a perfect opportunity to ramp Stryfe here, because we are going to need these charges later on in the more difficult mini bosses, just to really get that extra damage. So this is a really perfect start to this war. Really couldn't have asked for much for a better start. So we're up to 20 charges here, so we're at the max now, so we decided to throw a special 3. So that gives us 25 persistent charges, which is the max we can get from one special 3. And so this doesn't quite kill him, but we can just throw a few combos afterwards. And he'll go down pretty quickly there. Okay, so the next fight we have here is this rank 2 Storm Pyramid X. So Storm obviously naturally is very tanky because of all that glancing she has. So we're going to be using Apocalypse here. We had a pretty average start here. We copped a full combo to the face, which wasn't ideal. But yeah, we're using Apocalypse here. We don't have any synergy partners for Apocalypse. We don't have the cable synergy, so we're not able to start with the max genetic code with that synergy. But we are, because we are fighting a mutant, unless we die to the Storm, which spoiler alert, we don't. That would be really embarrassing. But yeah, by killing Storm here, we get our 4 telepathic charges, which will allow us to make Stryfe a horseman, which isn't completely necessary, but it is really nice to get that extra damage and also that safety net of the unstoppable should we get hit. So it's a really nice added bonus for Stryfe, and it was something we were able to afford in this war, just with the layout of the map really. So this is a great opportunity to get our horseman pre-fight unlocked. So we're just using Apocalypse here. It's really just a slow grind, just getting this Storm down. We're just trying to rely on our damage over time as much as possible. Damage over time is really the best solution for Storm in most scenarios, because you can't really rely on basic attacks, because really no one's immune to glancing. So we're just trying to bait out as many special ones as possible really. Chain into a striker here, heavy into a special 2. So we've got special 1, special 2. So this special 2 does tons of damage because obviously the special can't glance, so that does the main bulk of the damage. And then she's pretty much down now. Throw a special one, and that finishes her off. Alright guys, we're into section 2 here, so we're in path 4. Shout out to Loss, this is his Killmonger, we're fighting his rank 3 Killmonger. Also shout out to Rek, he's also in Sweaty's Alliance here. We had a great start against this Killmonger actually. We got 5 telepathic charges here from this invisibility. But this is where the war really started to go pear-shaped. So you can but the reason this fight didn't go well is it was just a game plan mistake. It was something that was a premeditated plan we had, and it just wasn't working. It didn't work, and I didn't adjust mid-fight. I didn't realize what I was doing wrong before it was too late. Here I tried to whiff a light and then throw a heavy, but I was too slow, and we got pretty much 2 combos to the face. So he is unblockable now because we had 3 debuffs on us. We don't want to use a heavy there just to generate some distance, wait for that unblockable to wear off. And the biggest mistake I was making is I just was not parrying enough. And I don't mean parrying basic attacks, I mean parrying these specials. The special 1 and special 2, I was not parrying them enough because a lot of this fight, you'll see he is indestructible. And that's because we're just playing too cautiously. We're dexing way too much. And we're parrying his basic attacks, but that's just giving him tons of power because we don't have a guidance boost on. So he's just getting tons of power from those parries. He's just constantly getting special 2s back to back. And that special 2, that start of the special 2 is such a massive lunge forward that we're getting constantly pushed back. And you can see we're pretty much right up against the wall now. He had 3 indestructible charges there, and we're just not parrying enough at all. You can see here, and it's just costing us here because we're backed into the corner now. We've used all of our invulnerability boost on because we missed that heavy before. That really cost us. I do decide to throw the special 3. I know he's indestructible, but I just wanted to salvage a little bit from this fight before we die. So we do get 13 charges from this, 13 telepathic charges, but he's at a special 3, and this is going to easily just kill us once he throws it. I was trying to get a second parry in here so we could try and get some damage in, but no, he didn't go for it. So that was lights out. That was our death for this war. Really, really unfortunate, but it was just a massive error in the planning, in my planning. So obviously we go back in again just with a different approach to this. So we've got the invulnerability boost on still, but we're just trying to focus on not really getting those telepathic charges. Obviously they're good to get a few of them, but we don't want to do that at a cost of dying. Obviously the main focus is getting the solo. Doesn't matter how many telepathic charges we get, how many persistent charges we get, as long as we get the solo. So you can see here we parry the end of that special 1. That gives us the prowess. We need that prowess, not only for the damage, but just so he doesn't go indestructible, because he has enough indestructibles on his own from his special 2. We don't want to give him extras from the node. But the reason why Stryfe is good here is because his mediums and his heavies do ignore all the thorns and reverb damage, so we don't have to worry about any reverb when he does have that active, unless we throw lights. So this is a much better approach to this fight because we're actually parrying the specials, and we're not getting punched back into the corner really easily from the special 2s. Because if we were dexing all of that, we'd be way further back than we are right now. You can see where he's almost in his corner now instead of us being in our corner. And as a byproduct, we do have 8 telepathic charges because but it's not the thing we're focusing on. We're focusing more on getting those prowesses and removing the indestructible rather than getting the telepathic charges now. That being said, he does have 2 indestructibles at the moment because we did dex a couple of those special 2 hits, unfortunately. But here we decide to block. We parry the end of that special 1 there. That removes the indestructible. And we do it the same again here, so we get a prowess there. So this was a much better approach to this fight, a much smarter approach to this fight. And there's definitely better placements for Killmonger. It was a really strange placement for Killmonger. Normally you'd see champs that have, like science champs mostly, or champions that have non-damaging debuffs, so that they do go unblockable. It was a really strange placement for Killmonger, but they did well because it did get them a death through my Stryfe. But we get to a special 3 here, and this was a really good special 3. It gave us 16 telepathic charges, and he's almost down now. He's at 19%. We don't have any prowess on us, but we parried the end of the special 1. I think they did. I think there was an interaction. I think they might have fixed it, but there was an interaction with Killmonger's indestructible removing prowess as well as the node's indestructible, so that was kind of a shame, which is why we don't really have any prowesses. And we parry there into a special 2, I believe, and that finishes him off. So really silly death, but it was just a planning issue on my behalf. Definitely not going to happen again if we have to fight this guy here again, which is unlikely, but you know, who knows, it might happen in the future. So yes, it looks like it's going to be another war with a lot of potion usage for Stryfe. But next up we have this Rintrah, so we're still on path 4 here. This was, as it turns out, a pretty bad assignment. Not just because of that. So we do have the Horseman now. I can't remember if I had it on last fight. I think I might have actually made an error and forgot to put the Horseman on in Killmonger, but we do have it on now. Yeah, but the reason why Stryfe isn't really good for this is just because he can't really manage those charges extremely well, his mystical charges, and he doesn't. And because Stryfe is such a parry-heavy reliant champion, Rintrah will go unblockable here once we get 3 debuffs eventually. I was anticipating it. I threw a very silly special 2 there into his unblockable. Sorry, he's unstoppable there. It was a combination. It was really a combination of a not a great matchup and then me playing pretty badly. I had a good idea of what I wanted to do, but it was just that special 2 in particular where when I threw that, it was really poor timing, and it ended up costing me about half my health here. So yeah, this is going to be a very expensive war for me item wise. I'm going to be spending lots of units on potions, but it's good that they scale with your boosted health now. You don't have to spend 200 units, 200 to 300 units just to heal your champion all the way. It's a lot cheaper now because of that change they made, which is good. But yeah, he is still unblockable now. He's going to be unblockable for the rest of the fight because we do have a permanent heal block on us. But we'll be heavy into a special 3 here just before we get really trapped into the corner, because that would have been really bad if he had started throwing heavies in the corner and when he's fully unblockable. So he's at 14% now, down to 12%. He is still fully unblockable, of course, but he's at 0 mystical charges, which is good. His power gain does get it to a special 2 here, so we obviously have to dex this, get the dex in there, and we just want to get him out of our corner. We want to throw some hits into block, just get him out of our sights. He does have 10 mystical charges now, but he's not near his corner, so he's not in danger of going unstoppable. Hopefully before he dies, we get a really nice heavy in there. I think we use a striker here, which basically finishes him off. So it was very close to dying there, but luckily we avoided it in the end. And we're up to 65 telepathic charges now. And so we have this Kate Bishop now. So this is on the Power Snack mini, actually. So this is a alright placement. We got a really nice start here. We got 8 telepathic charges. At this point in the war, we had quite a lot of telepathic charges. We weren't assigned to the final boss in this war. So I thought that this would probably be enough for the rest of the war, 65. So I decided just to really just nuke this fight. We don't want to bait out a special 2 from Kate. We just want to bait special 1s. That's why I'm just parrying a lot here, because we don't want to trigger Power Snack. I'm really just trying to parry just to get those passive prowesses, and also just try and parrying up to a special 2, because I was pretty confident that one special 2 could finish her off. We do have the guidance boost on as well, and then yeah, we throw one special 2 into her and then she dozes down really quickly. Alright guys, so next up we have this Korg here. This is on Power Focus 2 and Scared Stiff. I fought Elsa here last war, but I've got this Korg here. This is a fight I've taken with a Mega Red before, I think, in the past. This Korg isn't actually a tactic defender, so we don't have to really worry about any indestructibles that he's going to get. And just similar to that Killmonger fight we had earlier in the war, we don't have to worry about any thorns if we're just throwing mediums and heavies. We don't have to worry about any rock shield thorns damage from there. Obviously from that Rintrah fight before, we're up to 65 telepathic charges. We've got a really nice heavy there, 42k on the crit. And then yeah, we do a 5-8 combo. Obviously no thorns because mediums are safe from those. We get into a special 3. This does give us just 10 telepathic charges, which isn't amazing, but we're not really focusing on telepathic charges now. We know we've got plenty enough for the rest of the war. We've only got one fight after this now. So we're just trying to get him down as quickly as possible. It is Power Focus 2, so he's no danger of getting to a special 3. But we get into a striker here. Our damage is really, really nice at the moment, due to all our persistent charges and also the Horseman ability there. There is also that root timer that we've done really well in avoiding so far. We got hit by the start of that heavy there, but our Horseman ability saved us there. Apparently I missed a parry there, which is kind of unfortunate. And we do get rooted here because we didn't hit him every 6 seconds, so we use that opportunity to throw a special 3. We'll still be rooted after this for a few seconds, but this just gets him out of the way. But in fact, this does actually kill him because of all of our persistent charges. We're up to 80 now, into the last fight for this war. Alright, so the last fight for this war is an Ascended Baron Zemo. This is on Hazard Shift, Incinerate Poison, and Stun Immunity. So this is a fight that we don't have any immunity to, and I had a really poor start to this. I practiced heavy countering his heavy, which we got well there, but we missed the first one, unfortunately. But we obviously want to parry him to get those passive paralysis. We're really just trying to nuke this as quickly as possible. We've got all our mutant power boosts on. We do have 3 poisons on us, which are quickly ticking us down. But the special 3 with 88 telepathic charges now, this is going to get him pretty much all the way down. And you can see here that it does finish him off there. So that's going to be our war for today. We did have that one very silly death to Killmonger. Obviously, that was just a really silly just planning issue. We're still trying to get a deathless war. Hopefully it comes soon. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this war, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.